live, ladies.
Hello.
Hello, Shorty, and hello, Abby. Abby is
Hi,
here.
how are you?
Hi. Good to see you, Abby. Long time no see.
I know, MIA. So much has
You
happened.
have been. You have been. Someone did my Starlink kidnap you or something?
No, I've just been a busy little elf trying to make Christmas presents, which, by the way, just never look at Etsy and say, hey, I can make that. And then actually make it because it takes a long time.
And then actually try to make it.
Oh my God, the story of my life.
Right. So, Abby, do you want to just do that little intro that I said to pin?
Yeah, for sure. So Lacey was going to join us tonight. We kind of have a little bit more of a pressing issue, and we'll definitely schedule her for a later date, but she's going to be in the chat, and if she wants to chime in, she can. But I think with the topic tonight with Miss Shorty, like, we will jump right into it. And yeah, Lacey will join us at a later date.
Yep, we're going to have a rerun on the topic because we had to do the switcheroo. So, everybody, this is Miss Shorty. If you don't know Miss Shorty, I think you all do, but this is
Hi.
and down below this is Abby. And Abby and I are train wrecks, so no cameras. But Shorty's got a beautiful makeup as per usual.
Per usual.
I've heard I'm a human Bratz doll, and you know what? I'll take that as a compliment. It could only be nicer if they said I was a human Barbie, so whatever.
Exactly.
I mean, you know what? You're a great human Barbie. I think it's a really good compliment. I totally be on camera, but I literally my apartment looks like a tornado, and I'm very good about aesthetics. And also, I'm like wrapping presses at the same time. I'm a last minute Christmas person. I don't know about you, but I always wait till the last minute, which is at my own demise.
We cancelled Christmas. Well, you can see Shorty's all ready for it, but we've cancelled Christmas. We're just going to spend it together.
All I've got is a Christmas tree and some tinsel and two stockings full of dog treats for the dogs. That's my Christmas and live stream plans. So I'm basically canceling Christmas. It's all for show.
Well, your Christmas tree, from what I can see, looks beautiful. I approve.
This is a very tender topic for Shorty, but it's also a brutal topic that we need to get into. But before we go there, I want to just sort of ease into it and talk about dogpiling. So piling on or dogpiling, and Shorty's just had a very bad experience with this, where like so many people in her chat just piled on, and
Not in my chat.
oh no, sorry, weren't they originally in your chat or originally?
Oh, they were community members who went rogue to another chat. Well, yes, but not in my chat. My chats are very civilized. They wouldn't dare.
Chat now.
No, yes,
They
no,
used to
yes.
be, yeah. So essentially, so what the idea was for people who are new to streaming on YouTube, talking about the issues that we come across, how we've experienced those issues, so that other people who are new to YouTube, they know, yeah, pin that because that could happen. We're not going to try and tell you how to deal with it because hell, none of us are dealing with shit. Okay. So
We're just doing our best. We're just navigating through it as humans, doing our best with no rule book, right?
Exactly. There's no rule book. But we can tell you, what kind of stuff is common that's been happening. And then, you're at least alert to what the heck to expect. And when your mods all go rogue or whatever, none of my mods have actually ever gone rogue. And but I did have back in the early days before I went into the Karen Reid case, I did have some of these issues with rogue mods arguing. People didn't like being silenced by the mods. It's like, pull your head in if you don't want to be silenced. It's real easy. But then you get emails from people going, your mod made me go quiet and blah, blah, blah. So, Shorty, you had this experience, and this started for you a few months ago, didn't it? Someone in your chat took offence to us calling Tasmanians two-headed or something.
That was in another. It was in a different chat, but I was a moderator there, and it wasn't a two. It was basically just a joking reference about about Tasmania being the turd of Australia, like because of where it is, and it was just anyway. Yeah, it was just lighthearted, but somebody took
Like for those
great
who don't
offence.
know, it's at the bottom of Australia. It's not part of the mainland.
It's a separate island.
We
Yes.
always diss it.
So basically, people bring in their. Sometimes it's a possibility for people to bring their own set of tenderness and little trigger things to read something in chat and feel like it's a targeted attack towards them, and it very rarely
didn't
is.
even live in freaking Tasmania, did they?
Oh no, they did.
They did. Oh, okay. Fair enough. See, I got some New Zealand friends, and we'll say cheap jokes, and they'll say Aussie jokes, and nobody takes that stuff serious. We all know we're joking. So
I think there was other stuff going. There was definitely other stuff going on for that person that made them super sensitive to anything. They had a lot going on in their life, and anyway, but yeah, easily done. You know, in text, in writing, in you know, not verbally communicating. When you're writing something, typing, it can be easily misconstrued, particularly when the chats may be flying and people don't know the dynamics of the you know, for what other in jokes there are and.
yeah, exactly. And so that's where I would be appealing to our audiences and saying, like, give us our break, man.
Yeah.
Like we get that you're sensitive or whatever the issue is. Some people have eyesight problems, some people have hearing problems, but you also need to take into account, like, Shorty's now got 7,000 subs. I've got 16, nearly 17,000 subs. It's really hard to like cater to all of you. We kind of need to do it as a group. And when it comes down to this singular, I need my sensitivity cared for first, it's really hard to do when there's so many of you. And I think that's how it gets out of control. You feel left out, then you're emailing them going, your mods were mean to me and blah, 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 blah. And it gets all out of control. But from there, it kind of ballooned because a lot of people piled on from that point, didn't they?
I mean, it started before that a couple of months, maybe 6 weeks before that. It's been really an endless stream, pardon the pun, of I hate to say it, whatever women. Sorry, ladies, but you know how some women can be, and it's just been kind of an onslaught of people kind of getting butthurt or people taking issue with me just because. Shorty, like whatever their own gripe about me, and then taking into their hands to either like a fledgling channel coming up and going on and on about like how Australians are trailer trash and Australians with big lips and big boobs and blah 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 blah, going on and on about it, and then. Yeah, I know that was the first one, and then like just people's little, like everybody's got their own little idiosyncrasies, and not everybody's a nice person. Just because we're all in a chat doesn't mean that everyone's going to be like the same kind of person as you are. So it was just kind of a fairly constant flow, and that whole Tasmania thing. I did a whole episode on it called FAFO. That was sort of nestled in the middle of it all. But it did kind of escalate to the point that where we're at now, sort of 4 months on, the dog piling in one particular channel and chat has now, which is outrageous, vile, and like slanderous and driven by a few key people, that then is spilling out into other creators' chats and same narrative being pushed, same lies. In fact, super chats being sent to the creator to read out about me, still the lies and the slander. And quite frankly, it's not cool. It's not necessary. And what the actual, like.
Right, exactly. And so from the dog piling, we kind of learnt a little bit about mod management the hard way, didn't we?
Well, some of those people who were previously not just members of my community in my chat, but were previously members of my mod squad, were out there driving this sort of targeted propaganda mission, and it continues to this day. But so that was very disappointing. And they were, that one or two of them were, I think this one was actually a new moderator for Aussie. And I mean, wow, representing your channel nicely, huh? Nice support.
Right. And so while we're on the managing your mods subject, you know, we did actually have some of this conversation the other night when Will was on the channel with us, because he's been operating a channel like probably as long as I have, maybe even a bit longer. And he's always been Will, like always been the same dude all that time. But as he was saying, if you mod the wrong people, you end up with ruckus. You got to be real careful who you mod. And it's not what was the term that he used? There's no rule book, and there's no like set pattern to it. You just kind of got to trip over your feet and learn by your mistakes. But some of the things that we pointed out was like, you know, like he pointed out, anyone who asks for it is like, you know, you want it too hard.
Trouble. That's all. It's in my experience, the people who've asked to be mods for my channel, well, my entire mod team is basically new now compared to 5 months ago when I first started live streaming. But the ones who asked for it were the biggest, like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah. Can we take a moment and shout out Let's Talk with Amy? I've modded you. Amy, pop your link into chat as well. Please do that. Because yeah, Amy's got a new tits fund, so please do, if you can, donate to Amy tonight. Don't send me.
No, it's not just new boobs though. There's a serious reason behind it. We're just making it a more positive spin on the reason behind. So
right, and Amy will shout out herself with "fuck cancer." So let's just put that out there. But anyway, please do feel free to put your fund link in the chat, and I would like it if people would put their money tonight towards Amy rather than towards me or the channel. That would be freaking awesome. We'll love you for it. Now, Australia made, let me just pop that up. We got an Aussie in here. Aussie intel, and it does not matter to those who think they know. Your facts are good if you follow S. Murphy, Suzanne Morphew, I think she means. Phone location given and still no one reaches out. You can be used easily. Yes, of course. Yeah, so please feel free to put your, yes, there we go. For those who know, the big C example.
Awesome.
So did you want to add anything to that before we move on?
I mean, it's not just. Would you want to stay with the moderator side of things? Are we going to develop that, because it's the pile-on goes a lot deeper?
Yeah.
Because the creator's been piling on too. So
I want you to speak from your experience. Absolutely.
Well, I haven't been watching these live streams, which have now been nightly for hours and hours, at least an hour of every live, give or take, of the creator. Are we saying the creator's name, Ozzy?
If you want to, it's all up to you, because you're the one who has had to wear the brunt of this. Like, I copped a day of it today because I put a video out yesterday calling someone out, and I copped the brunt of it today. So you've been putting up with this for months, and it's totally your call. You can say whatever you want. The floor is yours.
So I think that the just a little bit of a wind back very briefly. So a couple of weeks ago, I was getting whispers that this creator was Oblivious Benson was still talking about me after a couple of months of intermittently speaking about me on her channel, not necessarily bad, but always bringing up supposed interpersonal relationship issues at which I was. It was me and someone else. And to be honest, all of them were these middle-aged women getting salty about whatever, just like, it was just a drag. So there was also, there was a breakup in this, which is ludicrous. And the whole thing now is supposedly under the guise of the outrage of the breakup. I've got a whole stream on that too. It's the same stream, but basically my internet boyfriend, I was very much all in. I got a pirate flag tattoo, right, for this person, formerly known as Adam Drives Helen, and out of the blue, at the end of an extremely distressing and stressful and overwhelming week with the exponentially growing like people coming at me, and I was at my wit's end with it, and then it just sort of all went to shit. And I ended up having an epic meltdown. And if you're on Twitter and you've seen screen grabs and screen recordings of my text messages directly to Adam, that's lovely. I own all of it. Those text messages were sent 3 hours into an epic 6-hour meltdown, and they weren't pleasant. And I've already acknowledged the fact and owned the fact that my meltdown behavior was awful. It was purely me trying to release some of the distress and stress and frustration at everybody coming at me for the longest time and talking about me, right? And so those text messages that if you're seeing them on, and they're being retweeted, it's lovely. Whatever. I sent them. Yeah, I sent them. I and there's certain parts redacted, which I have a feeling things that don't suit the narrative, but I was losing my ever-loving mind, and so at the end of that meltdown, it was awful. It was awful. Adam was on the phone with me the whole time. There's a whole stream about this if you want to know more details. Ugh, the tea. But it's important. So the next day, Adam dumped me via text, blocked me everywhere, and I had no idea. Blindsided, right? This is just. But you need to know the context. So I just spent the next week and a half or so, and have done since, putting my confusion and blindsidedness into writing lyrics and creating AI music out of them. Created some amazing songs. Just saying, I've got a playlist. And but that was that very next day, or even the night of, was when I believe Oblivious OB gave all these people wrenches, and they'd already been saying shit about me in the lives, and then ever since then, it's kind of gathered speed with on the live streams of Oblivious Benson, fueling the fire, allowing Adam and a couple of other key players, previous moderators of mine, pushing the narrative that I was psychologically and emotionally controlling and manipulating Adam for the whole 3 months, that I was making threats to kill to Oblivious Benson, that I destroyed their belief in the Free Karen Reid movement, that and so every couple of nights, and it's gotten to the point where since last week when I did why was it last week? Why has it been the last week? It just ramped right up, and it's been every night, every chat, every other creators' chats. I'm getting screenshots all the time of these people just honestly trying to turn the tide of public opinion about me and saying the most vile things and succeeding, particularly in the Oblivious Benson chats. The number of people I've seen in those chats, in the screenshots, that I'm horrified were people that I thought would surely be able to appreciate that how I am in text messages, how I am on a live stream, how I am in a voice note or a phone call or a group. I'm just the same all the time, and I'm none of the things that's been sprouted. So, but the pile-on in terms of the tide of vile vitriolic BS got me to a point where we were going to sort of do this stream anyway, and a lot of my friends have been behind the scenes going, this doesn't add up. It's really wild. What's pushing this? Why? When I actually haven't kind of done anything wrong. I wasn't petty. I wasn't going into other chats and trying to turn people against Adam. I just, whatever. Nobody needs to choose sides. It's been kind of horrifying to me because I just haven't. The only receipts they've got are my text message screen grabs to Adam, which, just by the way, it's actually it's a civil liability thing to share private text messages in the States. So, it could be something I could try to litigate, but I don't, whatever. If that's all you got, me in a meltdown, endlessly just trying to get rid of some of my emotions, sweet. So
frustrations, because it was I felt your
I
frustration during that.
I don't even think it was that much of a meltdown. Honestly, I think it was just like
I had a
you being
meltdown.
upset. I mean, who cares?
Yeah. No, it was a meltdown. Like to be honest, like it was a meltdown. I was raging and screaming and crying on that Friday night for 6 hours straight. I was throwing things, breaking things, punching myself in the head. I had bruises on my lip from biting down so hard. I had cuts in my hands from this. I was pulling things out of anything to just try and, because it was so out of my control and so wild to me that all this stuff was going on when I'd literally been dumped out of the blue, gone into myself, written some lyrics, shared those songs that I made, and took breath each day, just trying to get out of the devastation that I was feeling, that this person who I thought I knew just flipped on me. And it was suddenly telling people the most vicious lies. And
Shorty, can we interrupt you for 1 second?
Absolutely.
I want you to take a breath because I'm feeling your tension.
Guide me. So, but basically, it got to a point where it was just kind of wild. It's gotten kind of wild, right?
It absolutely was wild. Let me just say to the chat, who's worried, we're not going to talk about Mike or Grant. This is not about
nothing. It's nothing.
It's nothing with Mike or Grant. It's nothing. Way bigger.
I imagine, and like I've already said this like so many times, I have no beef with Mike. I have no issue with Mike. I have no issue with anything there. I'm all set with that. I'm all set with that. I was always set with that on the day, and I only got love and felt love from that whole situation overall. So we're good.
Right. So it's not drama tonight. I mean, Shorty's
drama.
Shorty's just been through a lot of drama, and I'm letting her talk about it because when we
it's context also. Yes.
Exactly. It's context, because when we get to the end and we tell you what the bombshell is, you guys are all your jaws are going to be on the floor as to why she went through all of this. It's crazy. Okay. So I am sorry
I gotta hear this. I gotta hear it.
And I'm sorry for interrupting you so many times, Shorty.
No, that's it. No, not so many times. So I was giving all that context because the breakup was weird to me. I was all in pirate flag tattoo, right? And when I was talking to Ozzy maybe a week ago, Ozzy, and she said, because when it started to become apparent that this was really wild and a targeted attack, and it seemed really not in keeping with the all in, spending every minute with each other as much as we're on either sides of the planet, like weirdo love affair, whatever. And then, so what did you tell me? I'll just give you, so people don't have to hear me ranting on. You can tell me what you said to me a week or so ago, that you were sorry that you hadn't.
Oh, sure. Abby and I had been talking about this for weeks, like early into your romance. We were very concerned about.
Wait, sorry, but Ozzy, wasn't it even beforehand? Didn't you? Because this goes back to noticing things in chats and the pitfalls.
Oh,
because
right.
remember, you were, because Ozzy, you were helping me when I first started streaming. I didn't have a laptop, so I was streaming off my phone. And so, what did you do to help me?
Yeah, so because she was having tech issues, I was logging into her account and actually running her account from behind the scenes, but you were just seeing Shorty up on the screen. Every now and again you saw me pop up and say something or interrupt her stream or whatever, but most of the time I was just in the background just helping her, logged into her account to help her stream run smoothly and to get her guests on and off.
And pull comments up on the screen as well. So I wasn't really seeing the chat. I was just seeing myself and talking.
Exactly. I was also pulling up comments because she didn't have control of that. So I was avoiding comments from Adam at that time because they were just a little bit, I don't know, it was weird. I was avoiding pulling his comments up. It was just weird. And I wasn't even sure why it was weird. But then when I found out a little later, like it was like he was just following her all over the place, like he was in chats where she was and he was in her chat. He was just following her, and that was just a bit weird. But there was a point where I sort of realized they were getting romantic, and I said to Abby, "Yeah, I'm really worried about Shorty. Do you think I should say something?" She's like, "Oh, I don't know. I mean, some people just have to find out the hard way. Do we say anything? Is she going to hate me if I say something?" So in the end, I did drop a hint and she brushed me off, not thinking anything of it because I think I just dropped too light a hint.
You said, watch out for internet relationships. I'm like, oh, no, this is real. Ugh, the embarrassment.
Well, it's hard too because especially when you're like in a new relationship, you don't really want to hear negative comments. And especially if it's like something that, internet relationships are a little weird. There's weird shit that happens with internet relationships.
Well,
So
we're
like,
about to find out why that weird shit.
yeah, we're about to find out why. But
So
that being said, like, I get it though. Like sometimes it's kind of like, do you want to get in somebody else's business or, it's a tricky territory.
It's tricky territory. So once they were already involved, I didn't want to go any further. Like I was just like, it's already too far. I've got to let her trip over her own feet.
And boy, did I.
And I'd also point out that Shorty actually didn't say anything for at least a week or so that they'd broken up and what had happened. She didn't say anything. In fact, I have her original message to me saying, Adam and I broke up, but I don't want you to stress out. Everything's okay. You don't have to, demod him. You have to take sides. It's okay. I still love him. He's a nice guy. And she was saying all this nice stuff about him. Meanwhile, he's going around to other channels and he is being vile, like literally vile, horrible. So he was also gaslighting. If you read the private text messages that he's now posted all over the friggin' X, he was
gaslighting the shit out of her.
So, and the reason we're talking about all this is going to become apparent. It's not just a bitch about these people. There's a full-on reason why we're telling you this. So
it is wild.
It's wild. We fell over information today and went, whoa. So, and somebody has a guilty conscience, right, Abby?
Somebody's got a guilty conscience.
Somebody's deleted their ex account, like in the last.
Yeah, he deleted his ex account. I mean, I won't spoil it because it kind of goes into like our thing, but because he made a comment about the video Jesus, and I also made a comment back, and I mentioned a certain specific detail that we will be going into.
He called her a drink hack, and I don't even know what a fucking drink hack is.
What the frick is the drink hack even?
You're an alcoholic. He reckons that you're just a boozy bitch.
Oh my God. Right. Says
Isn't that like a drink? Isn't there another term for that though? Like a drink? I'm not a drink hack. Lacey, we were talking about this earlier. What is that like the thing? Like isn't that like a booze bag or
I thought he was saying a drink hat, like the 2 cans of beer.
That's what I thought too. I was like, okay, that's fun.
Hack as in
fraud. Yes, Taryn. Yes, Taryn. Sorry, Taryn. Nice, my little sleuths. So
right.
Keep going.
I mean, shit. Yeah.
I'm just like dying right now. I'm like hanging by.
It gets Lacey. You wait. Just
it gets better.
Not better. It gets horrifyingly, terrifyingly community public service announcement. Bad.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I might have to go.
we told you. We gave you the heads up, man. If you wanted to be here or not. If you want to go before we get to that point, that's fine. But I sort of had it like planned for around 9ish to sort of drop that. But so there's plenty more to talk about before we drop it. It just gives other people time to come in and settle into the chat and we kind of
and the lurkers.
We're hoping for lurkers because they need to hear this as well. They're all so sold on Adam's such a nice guy. But
and Shorty bad, Shorty evil, Shorty bad.
Shorty's unhinged and Shorty's
she's got mental health issues and she used to be a drug user. So we just hope that she gets some help and stops being a raging see you next Tuesday to some of us. Well, I don't really ever remember raging or being either of those things. I mean, I can be sometimes.
Well, I like how he tries to say to you, being like, oh, like he's so into mental health. But then he throws that shit out, calls everybody else like me, like a freaking booze bag and a sea hag. You know what I mean? Like,
and weaponizing my failings
and
as in
your
his
family.
Yeah, weaponizing my failings and the things that I've divulged many times. There's no secrets. I have no secrets. I talk about my struggles in life, whether it's homelessness or domestic abuse and domestic violence, addiction, sex work, like anything possible. It's all out there. The trolls, good luck to them. There's nothing. The only thing the trolls, these two trolls have got are my private text messages with Adam. And you know what? I'm owning them too. Like I was ranting and raging for reasons I've explained. So carry on.
Right. I forget where I was at. I was helping you. I was trying to advise you.
So you said to me about a week or so ago, you said, we actually always thought he was stalking. That was where I was going with that question a while ago.
Right.
So I was like, well, I don't know about that. And you're like, yeah, I felt this vibe. And then I started to think about it, and well, yes, the very initial when I was giving context, and I said there was this creator, a new fledgling channel, who started talking about me and just making comments on my appearance and hating on me. Adam and I at that point were just kind of flirting in chats, and he was working with her, doing video work for her channel, and
my ass. It's called love bombing. Sorry, you can call it.
Yeah, it's a love bombing.
Yes, and then that the what she did on her channel actually pushed us together, and we became forged in this awful bullying and the whole situation with OB speaking to it on her live for about half an hour, and that actually pushed us together as a couple. So it started to make sense to me that his manipulation, possibly, I didn't see this stuff when I wasn't looking at my chat other than what came up on the screen because Ozzy was backstage doing it for me, that possibly there was some manipulation of the situation that Kimmy, that he had actually orchestrated or sort of curated that blow up in some way. So that started to make sense, that maybe there was, and also the way he ended it clearly couldn't have been true feelings, because you would never do that to someone who you loved and who you genuinely wanted to spend the rest of your life with. So it started to make sense to me, Ozzy.
Oh my God, B. Dot, we already went through that. We already went through the bloody, you're a spy for Russia. We went through
Wild.
that.
It's insane.
There was some funny stuff going on. It was cray.
Brit just had a good point. Sounds like he is using women as weapons towards Miss Shorty. It does, doesn't it, Brit?
Doesn't
Very
it?
much.
It does sound like he's using women.
It feels a lot like this. He bemoans the fact that he's the only man in these chats, and it's got all these women coming to watch his channel, and he's so sick of the women, like, expecting so much from him. He's just a guy in the middle of all these women, and
Yes, the poor guy. He's the victim. He's the victim of Shorty. He's been playing victim for like 3 weeks now. I'm the victim. Yeah, they're both gone, Shorty.
I wonder. I think he might know what's about
to.
I think he might know that he's about to be on blast for some very serious shit.
Yeah,
very serious.
All these women. He's over there gaslighting against Shorty. Then the gaslighting of Shorty. All of this is about to bite him on the ass, like big time. Why do we all think he's deleted his X, his Discord, his YouTube, the whole lot? Look.
He knows, because he knows what we're about to drop. He has a feeling, I think.
What we're going to.
He knows.
Exactly. And everyone who's out there defending him have all got some freaking explaining to do.
Because can I just say that what we're going to say, this is a man, a human, a male, who has, from what we understand, and we have the ultimate receipts, has spent a lifetime, or at least the last, 4 years, but it has to go way back from that, using women and manipulating women, preying on women, females, and getting whatever he wants out of them, whether it be whatever. I my heart goes out to, sort of, because I was fooled, right? I was absolutely fooled. Pirate flag tattoo, saving all my money to move to the States, right? I was all in. Every one of you women have been I believe, manipulated as flying monkeys for his narcissistic, dare I say, psychopathic need to destroy me for whatever reason. The stalker, a stalker wants that person, but they also want to, same, right? IRL stalkers.
Yeah.
IRL, exactly.
IRL, but this is an internet thing. So how do you destroy someone? What does a narcissist do when they can no longer control you? They try to control what everybody else thinks about you and how they view you. And that is textbook
Exactly.
what's been going on here, right?
Textbook. And I just want the audience to know I too have a stalker. Yay! Shorty's not alone. Well, there's not even a but. I have a stalker. I just never. I never fell for anything. He was never going to love bomb me. He hates my guts. I got a real hateful stalker, so we kind of, we skipped the love bombing and everything, just went straight to hate. So that's why I modded up like quite a few tonight. Like I really just wanted to have that backup. It was pretty awful, like what he was doing. That's my stalker. So completely different type of stalker to what Shorty's got, but kind of in the same class, if that makes sense. So
we had some people, my girl code, my girls, the ones who were actually friends, have been, because I haven't wanted to expose myself to watching any of this, and in general I just wouldn't, but I have been getting screenshots of the vile things that have been said in chat, screenshots of and recording, screen grab recordings of some of the stuff coming out of the OB's mouth. It all ramped up. I'm sure you all know of the brouhaha over the Grant Smith Ellis, and then the everything that happened with that in the last sort of 48 hours. And I know that these people, Adam and OB mostly, but also the other flying monkeys, decided that would be perfect to be able to go into chats and to really push this narrative of Shorty bad, Shorty derangement syndrome is real, and it's gone then because Aussie's been getting some receipts and getting pretty sick of things, right, Aussie? So you put out a video.
I was sick of you getting pounded on. I asked two people to hold off. I get it. You don't like her. Just hold off for a bit because she's really upset right now and we just need to give her a break. Can we just not pile on right now? Hold your beef off for a bit. I got screenshots of all of this. But anyway, besides all of that, I got tired of Shorty taking the blame for everything. They've been
everything. I swear I'm to blame for bloody global warming as well. Like seriously, wow.
And Putin and Trump.
Shame on you for not kind of pinpointing it, and instead of getting caught up in the drama armor of it all and loving the tea and loving the I don't know, getting caught up in the group think, to not think, wow, there's something really going on here. This is not, and that's disappointing to me because I know you don't feel the same way, Ozzy, but I do. I genuinely do.
People are doing the all caps thing just to piss me off. That's what I was giggling at. It's so funny. They're trying to give me a tick.
But yeah,
Jason!
But like,
hello.
Hi, Jason, my biffle.
You turned up at the right time too.
I forgot to put my earbuds, plug them back in because I went away for a minute, so I couldn't hear anything. So I apologize. I'm here now.
Yeah, I wonder why when I said hey, you didn't answer. So
I missed everything, but I'm jumping right in. Sorry. We have this guy who
jump in.
We have this guy who completely is putting out messages saying now we have to destroy this person, and everyone.
No, the bitch needs to be put down.
The bitch needs to be put down. That's right. The bitch needs to be put down. And is that what he does to all of his victims, or Shorty? You know that I've been having conversations with you and with Aussie, checking in on you after your breakup and making sure that things are okay for quite a period of time now. And I had, right after I knew that you broke up, I did have one of your former mods come into my DMs, and they were trying to tell me some things about you. And I said to them, and they were like, I want to tell you something, and Miss Shorty, this and that.
I know exactly who that will be. Yes.
But I'm afraid because I don't want you to tell anyone. And I said, listen, I give my sources anonymity. I'm not going to tell you who it is anyway, because I'll tell you what I told them. I give my sources anonymity. If you want to come here and you want to say something to me, I'm willing to hear you out, and I'm willing to give you anonymity because that's what you're asking for. But you should know that you can't just come to me and get involved in this breakup drama with somebody. Like, I don't want to hear about that. Like, but if you have something substantial that you want to tell me, make sure you bring receipts with you, because this is a person who I've gotten to know, and like I'm not going to just take your word for it. So if you come here with something that you think I really need to see about how horrible this person is, I write about horrible people. So if you want to bring me something, go ahead. But when you come back, I'll keep your anonymity. But when you come back, make sure you bring your receipts. I never heard from that person again. So that person never came back into my DMs with receipts for me to write a story about you or say anything about you.
There are none. There are none.
The only other thing I'll say before you get to that is I then, of course, now see all the allegations. I heard that you're the biggest sex worker in Australia, and which is great, but you should be loaded by now if you're the biggest sex worker in Australia. Like, if you're the number one, you're going right. You're going right where I want you to.
Why is that a bad thing?
It's not a scoop. I've said that. It's already on my channel. That's not a scoop.
You're going right where I want you to, because I just wanted to congratulate you on being the highest paid sex worker in Australia.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, like, fucking go you, man. Go you. Like
are these people who are seriously pretending that they're all about women's rights, talking about you having agency over what you do with your own body, or what you did with your own body, something that you don't even do anymore? Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. And these people who say I'm a predator, right, and that I don't care about women's rights, where I'm saying, where I'm sitting here saying, like, are you kidding me? Like, so this woman took her own agency and decided to do what she had to do. Never mind any of the circumstances in your life that may have led you to that point, or anything else that went along the way. But the fact is that we have a profession that's actually legal in several states here in the United States, and we have things that are happening. Right. So we have all of these things that are happening, and now they have a problem with that. Like, now it's an issue. Now we have,
Yes. But the question, Shantae's Inferno. So this predator is connected to these bullying women. Yes, I have a song about it. I call them. The song's called "Flying Monkeys." At Adam's behest, I believe, based on his ability to manipulate and prey on women, he preyed on these women who obviously had a bit of a problem with me, and gathered them into his fold to fuel the fire, to send them out like flying monkeys to do his dirty work while he was there. The vitriolic stuff that he said in chats and in private Discord things that I was sent screenshots of is these women were my 3 moderators in my channel, and Adam was too, and he dumped me, and then all of this for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I can't remember time. So yeah, that.
Well, I just want to say one more thing before we move into the legal document and go into that stuff. Adam, we're not going to be friends. I just want to let you know.
Yeah, I mean, I would be friends with that mofo either.
Jason, did you hear the news? You might have been in transit, but in the last couple of hours, Adam has deleted his X, his Discord, and his YouTube channel.
Did he know it was coming?
I spilled the beans. Not really. I just made a comment. It was just like a underage comment of, it was just something, cheeky.
I told her, Jay, so I said, don't slay yet, but she had to slay.
I had to. I mean,
Abby. Oh my God, Jason's taking his glasses off. He's serious.
I am. That means I'm serious. Exactly right.
I mean, I'm sorry. I had to do it. The VJ.
I really am. But yes, thank you, Shelby, because that's what I was just going to say. I already gave my message to Adam. And I'll say one more thing that I've heard over the last several days that I keep hearing about, and that is somehow the drama involving Aussie Insider and what was the trial that I did not watch that we talk about all the time?
The trial.
What was that case? The one that people give are controversial in terms of your takes versus theirs. What was that trial? Delphi. Thank you. So we have the Delphi trial, and all of those people who Aussie Insider, who maybe they saw things differently or got an argument there, have all come back around, and they're like, well, but Shorty's friends with Aussie Insider, and look at the Delphi trial. You know what? none of that matters because now we've told you what matters. It's okay if you don't like Aussie Insider or you think she was short with you during that thing. You don't have to watch her channel. It's all right. It's okay if you don't like me. Like, I'm all right with it. I like Aussie Insider, and it's okay that I like her too, right? But at the end of the day,
I'll admit though, I'm a bit like Will. If you come at me sideways and upside down and start calling me names, I'm probably going to tell you to F off and probably use the C word. Just be honest there.
Yeah.
But I love that about you.
But that's my point. That's just a part of that's just a personality conflict that somebody might have with you because they don't appreciate that or like that. And it's okay for them not to like you. But it doesn't, but all of that, whether Shorty was the number one or number two, I'm going to find the new number one sex worker in Australia, by the way, and ask if they've outperformed you. Or I'm going to do like a whole series of interviews to see like if the bar has been raised or lowered or.
It's always raised, Jason. It's always raised.
I'm not going to make it a focus of my channel. Oh, hey, that's I like that.
I mean, honestly, good for you, man. Like, I feel like that's like really.
my point is all of this garbage and drama and boyfriend girlfriend drama that people are trying to drag out and throw in your face. All of this means nothing because what we have here is we have somebody who is a pedophile sex offender who they went to bat for and supported all day for 2 days or 3 days straight, and in reality for weeks. I just mean most of the world didn't see that. I didn't know who this woman was until yesterday. You know what I mean? So she had 385 Twitter followers, and I just didn't follow her YouTube, so I didn't know anything about her. So I didn't know who this lady was. I just know someone sent me a screenshot. Hey, this lady's talking about you after your stream, and I'm like, who the fuck is this lady, and why is she talking about me? Like, what's going on here? And then I saw the only thing I said about her on the stream was I don't know who she is, right? And then since the stream, when I saw that she blocked me, she said a whole bunch of stuff about me and then blocked me. And I'm just like, what a coward. Like, if you want to say something about me, leave the thing open so I can reply to you, and then we can go back and forth, and then you can block me if you want. But you literally did this little preemptive strike and then blocked me so you didn't have to look at my response. I don't like that. So all I did is I called her out on that, and I messaged our mutual friend and said, hey, like, what the hell is going on? And had a whole conversation about how, again, like I've said a million times, I don't tell my friends who to be friends with. And I agreed that, like, I made a nice public Twitter comment on a post that he made. I think it's nice that you're standing up for your friend, even though I don't have the same experience. And that was it. I was done with her. I had nothing else to say to her about her until she started threatening to dox people, regular, ordinary people on Twitter who were calling out her take that I needed to apologize to Melanie Little.
Yep.
Shit.
All right. There you go. It's back up on the screen. Yeah, so once more with the article, and then we'll go over to the court documents. We've got the jail records and we've got the court documents. We know what he pled. We know what he got, what happened. So essentially, Adam Levi Boyd,
yep.
At around 1 p.m. on Tuesday, June the 15th, 2021, 41-year-old Jackson County resident Adam Levi Boyd was arrested in Sutherland for the crime of online sexual corruption of the first degree. The Sutherland Police Department said in a media release. I have that release, by the way. It says the same thing as this, but I do have it with their logo and shit on top. So Boyd was lodged at the Douglas County Jail on the following charges: online sexual corruption in the first degree, online sexual corruption in the second degree, and luring a minor.
Can I take the next paragraph?
Please take two.
I want to do it my announcer voice.
Take two.
I like
due to the nature and sensitivity of the crimes committed in the ongoing investigation, the Sutherland Police is unable to release how the information of Boyd's crimes were committed, SPD said. Sorry, go ahead.
And then the next one.
Oh my God, you have a Phelps. I mean, your Phelps voice is like, I don't want to insult you, but that's like a really good podcasting voice.
It is.
I'm not gonna lie, kind of fucking love it.
I'll keep going if you want.
Yes,
Mandy, yes.
Keep going.
According to the Oregon Revised Statutes, online sexual corruption in the first degree is defined as a person who is 18 years of age or older and knowingly uses an online communication to solicit a child to engage in sexual contact and intentionally takes a substantial step toward physically meeting with the child. Online sexual corruption of a child in the first degree is a Class B felony. Parents are strongly encouraged to monitor their children's use of smartphones, tablets, and other devices used to access the internet and social media apps, the department stated.
Yeah, that's it. So let's go to more reading. We got more reading.
Now, I just want to point out, now that you're bringing this up, as we go down and we see the charges, we see that the statute is slightly changed, and there's a reason, right? Because if you were just reading this document as you go down and you read the charges here, they've actually, instead of, well, go down, I think the charge is slightly changed because it looks like he pleaded down in order to take a plea on this.
Right. So just so you can see, plaintiff, which is the state, obviously, that's him, and that's his two lawyers, radio. So he obviously pled not guilty. So if you plead guilty, then you don't need lawyers. You're just going to get sentenced by the judge. But the fact that he's got lawyers means that he pled not guilty.
Or what we don't know for sure, right? What we don't know yet. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I thought he did plead down, but he didn't. So you're right. He didn't. He pled innocent and got found guilty. Because a lot of times what we'll do here in the United States is you'll hire a lawyer because you want the lawyer to go in and plea your charges down to get you the best deal possible. You know what I mean? And maybe reduce your sentence. So we didn't. You could still plead guilty and have lawyers. It just means that they made the best deal. And I'm not sure which of those happened here, but go ahead.
I don't think any of them happened because this one only shows one court case, which is that first charge. We're missing some documents for the other two, but I do have the jail records for the other two. So just so you know. So that's that one. See, he was found guilty and he was convicted and he was sentenced. He was sentenced. This is what makes me so freaking annoyed. He was sentenced. So the crime severity was 8. If you're in the 8, what is it out of 10? And you get 2 days jail, but he's got credit for time served. So I don't know how long he spent in jail to say what he actually did serve. No, that's probation.
No. So what this looks like to me is, and we saw this in another case. Actually, my first foray into actually advocating for victims. I told the story on your channel about that rapist in Texas.
Yeah.
And we saw in his case, he actually raped a woman at gunpoint and ended up by receiving, his sentence was a long term of what they call shock probation. In this case, I'm sure what his attorneys argued was that, he arranged to meet with a girl, but he didn't actually meet with her. And they probably threw in some mitigating factors like, well, he didn't really know how old she was, or he didn't believe her, or he didn't do this.
And blah, blah, blah.
Right. So you have all of this. So you see the criminal history is low. There no.
We did check that incidentally if he has any other criminal history besides this, and there was only this. So we checked that out.
And so maybe he was making arrangements to meet with her, but he didn't. So unfortunately, the court didn't take it as seriously. So what we see now is that the duration in jail was 2 days, but the probation was for 36 months. So they give him a long probation term. This is ludicrous to me.
So someone's just messaged me to say he pled guilty. He had 3 charges on the first degree of felony corruption of a child, second degree felony corruption of a child, and felony luring of a minor. They're his charges.
We're going to pull that up next. It's the jail records that lists those. So So what happened was in 2023, before his probation ended, he violated his probation. And so at that time, he got 10 days in county jail as a condition of probation and remand. He must have had credit for time served. I don't know what that means if he was out on probation. The time of the detention on current probation violation. So it looks like this was supposed to end in August, the 10th of August. The supervised probation was meant to end in August. And isn't that when he started chasing you, Shorty?
It was basically Basically, the end of August. Our Facebook relationship date was the 7th of September, and obviously you don't do that straight away. It was at least a week. Lol, far out.
A week after his probation ended.
Yep.
Nuts.
So he can't be online. He would not be allowed to be online, and so the week after the probation ends, he's doing online shit, right?
It's down here. So he's actually a registered sex offender. I'm just trying to find it for you. Information arraignment, appointing counsel, agreement, security release. Sorry, somewhere here it is. Hearing time. He had a lot of hearings for. I think it might be for all of the cases. There we go. So there you go. His sex offender registration. I don't think you can get off those, can you? You're on it permanently, aren't you?
Yep.
You can petition a board to get off of them, but I'm not sure.
Right. So that's all of that information, and I can just bring up the jail info now. Hang on, let me find that one. Rightio. So in the jail info here, we find so the same sort of information, but there's the violation. It's 3 charges, and it's online sexual corruption of a child 1st degree, online sexual corruption of a child 2nd degree, and luring of a minor as the 3rd charge. No bail. Bond bail 10. What does that mean? 10. Pardon me. Does anybody know what that means?
I'm sorry. I'm doing 2 things at once here. Where? Show me.
It says no bail, and it says required bail 10.
Yeah, so what they do is when you're coming in on multiple charges like that, they just stick the bail on one of the charges. You know what I mean? And rather than listing it 4 times or 6 times, they just put it on the top charge. It's pretty common.
Oh my God, I'm so glad we got you here. No mention, and clear it. So they've done the same thing here. Rightio. So there you go, guys. He hit up Shorty just as he came out of this whole bail situation. He's been kept and had to report regularly and blah blah blah. So it is terrible, isn't it, Maddie? It is. It's terrible. So where did we want to go from here, boys and girls? I don't know that I got any more documents now. What else have we got?
I'm actually looking for something if you want to carry it for a minute. Sorry, I'll get right back to you.
Cool, I can pop your screen. I'll stop sharing for a bit. We will.
Oh, wait. We know what his bond was.
Wait, what was his bond?
20,000.
Oh.
Yeah, it was in there. It said 20,000, yep.
Yep.
I mean, that's what I saw on Ben Verified. I saw it was like a $20,000 bond.
And in terms of it, which is obviously a pretty high bond if in a situation where you're a first offender and you go in that, because they take the crime very seriously. I wish they took the punishment more seriously. But you end up in that. So he would probably have had to have come up with 10% of that bond down, and the rest of it would be a bond. So he would have come up with $2,000 in order to get released. So he would have.
His parents would have come up with it. His parents would have come up with it. His parents bought the RV for him. His parents support him because he doesn't actually do any paid work.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you came in here expecting Karen Reed when it's not in the title or the description, then that's more for you. We're not here to talk about Karen Reed, okay? This is talking about a pedophile. Yeah, I didn't think that the jail time was enough, and I don't know about the 20.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, Oregon is one of those liberal states, and I'll be honest. I lived in California. I lived in LA. I was doing like production work in LA. I was doing production work in San Francisco, and even their laws were insane. Like, you could break into a house, smoke crack on the street. You could do whatever the F you wanted in LA or like anywhere in California, and you wouldn't get arrested for it because they have like, I can't remember what the law was. Unless you're on federal grounds, they can't really convict you. Right. So, Oregon is like kind of the same thing. Like they're very liberal. So when I saw that, I wasn't really surprised, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Someone just like Mandy's just asked, he's not registered yet, and then I've just got information that the sex registries only list third degree sex offenders. So
That's
he won't be on the
exactly what
sex
I
registry?
was. That's exactly what I was just looking up. Yeah.
Okay, sorry to steal your thunder, Jason.
Yeah, so
No, I'm glad
levels.
because
There's like first degree, second degree, and then like third degree. And I think you have to be in a certain you still have to register though, I believe.
Right. He may
Am I
have to
correct?
register, but it just might not be discoverable. That's what I was looking at when we did that. I didn't look earlier because I was busy, so I apologize, but I did want to find out now if we could see it. Clearly, the newspaper articles and court documents tell the story that they tell, regardless of whether he's a level 3 sex offender or a level 2 or a level 1 or a level 20. It doesn't matter. He's a pedophile. He enticed a minor online, and he would had to have made significant steps to attempt to meet that minor. No,